Boxing is often called the noble art of fists and a gentleman's sport, where there is no place for dirty rats who want to intimidate more than they can fight. Even the great Mike Tyson had to deal with fighters who tested his patience by mocking his abilities before their encounters. Patiently, karma awaited them to deliver justice on fight day through Mike's powerful fists. Welcome. In today's video, I'll show you what instant regret looks like using examples of boxers who threatened Mike Tyson over the years and ended up shooting themselves in the foot. Get comfortable, because this recap of Iron Mike's journey through the history of the sport is about to begin. Mike Tyson versus Marvis Frasier. It was '86, and Mike Tyson had already begun to make waves in the world of professional boxing. On July 26th, in the ring at Glens Falls Civic Center in New York, he was set to face his next big rival, Marvis Frasier. Frasier's confidence in his abilities bordered on egotism, believing himself superior to young Iron Mike. However, Tyson's undefeated record of 24 wins, 22 of them by painful knockout, strongly defended his skills in the ring. With Joe Cortez as the third man in the ring, the fighters jumped into action. Tyson used a devastating right hook to knock out Frasier just 30 seconds into the originally scheduled 10-round fight. The fighters met in the center of the ring after the opening bell, and Tyson quickly caught the arrogant Frasier off guard with a right hand. Forcing him into a corner, he struck him with a hook that sent him to the canvas.
Uppercut, and Marvis is hurt. Frasier is down.
Cortez counted only to 5 before signaling the end of the fight. Mike Tyson versus Mitch Green. Mitch Green was well known for his street past. Despite boxing being a gentleman's sport, Green tried to mix it with gang dirt by behaving like a true thug. When his fight against Tyson was confirmed, he made death threats on his behalf. Completely ignoring sportsmanlike rivalry, Green really seemed ready and willing to shed blood on the canvas. But on May 20th, '86, at Madison Square Garden in New York, his skills would fall short compared to his words. Tyson managed to press Green at all times, landing some powerful blows directly to the head and body.
Tyson comes out like a locomotive, going straight for him, and he didn't double up. He just was a little bit lazy, but being conditioned like Tyson, there is no...
Defending himself with flurries, Green refused to go down against Tyson. The fight overall was an emotional outburst, which young Iron Mike ended up winning by unanimous decision.
Always aggressive, right in front of his man. Now we see some head movement, and habit of leaning back. Watch the left hook of Mike Tyson land.
He did draw a warning from Luis Rivera, the referee, about holding. Green's in trouble.
Those...
They fought.
Look at here.
Just laughing at him.
What's going to happen?
2 years later, Green took the rivalry to the streets by ambushing Tyson coming out of a store and starting an underground fight. Once again, Tyson prevailed against the poor gangster who couldn't intimidate anyone but himself. Mike Tyson versus Tyrell Biggs. Biggs won the gold medal in the super heavyweight division at the '84 Olympics, but that doesn't mean he was an exemplary athlete. In fact, his participation on the national team sparked a rivalry between him and Tyson that began on the street and ended up in a professional boxing ring later on. Tyson, shorter and not so exaggeratedly muscular, was rejected by the national team for the Olympics. Who did manage to make the cut? Biggs. And he didn't hold back from mocking Tyson for it. When the team was about to board the plane to go to the training camp, Tyson decided to approach them to wish them luck. Biggs, in front of everyone, in a sarcastic tone, said he didn't know what young Mike was doing there, but he was sure he wouldn't be boarding the plane with them. By '87, when fate brought them together to square off, Biggs made sure to make it clear he didn't see Tyson as the fighter everyone was trying to sell him as. According to Biggs, he knew him from the back and knew he wouldn't last a couple of rounds in the ring. On the night of October 16th, in the ring at Convention Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey, Tyson let his skilled fists have the final say. Dominating him throughout the fight, he defeated Biggs by technical knockout 2 minutes and 59 seconds into the 7th round.
Stevenson, and I admit it was 5 years ago, but he really bothered me.
There is the hook, again, because his hands are down. And the way that Biggs is moving, very seldom you see Biggs come back with a combination of his own.
All the way back to amateur days. Other left hand, and there's a...
Oh, that
was a tremendous left hand.
Mike Tyson versus Frank Bruno. The fight between Mike Tyson and Frank Bruno was one of the most anticipated, but also one of the most overshadowed. Due to issues in Mike's personal life, the date kept getting pushed further away. In fact, do you remember the underground altercation between Tyson and Green? Because of that fight, the date was also postponed once. Tyson hit Green so hard in the face that he broke his right hand. But besides that, many more events prevented the youngest world heavyweight champion from getting into the ring to fight. At one point, Bruno started spreading rumors that Tyson was just making excuses to skip the fight. Gradually, those rumors seemed to gain credibility among fans and tentatively could escalate to the sports press. Fortunately, they dissipated on the night of February 25, '89, when, in the ring at Las Vegas Hilton, both fighters finally squared off. Mike Tyson ended up defeating Bruno by technical knockout 2 minutes and 55 seconds into the 5th round, after setting a pace of fight that the bold mouth couldn't keep up with.
Standing for him, he get tagged again by a right hand. He's trying to... The right hand catches Bruno. Left hook. Bruno looks ready to go. Now Tyson. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell. Tyson knows he's got him in big trouble. If he doesn't answer it, Richard Steele has moved in.
Mike Tyson versus Frank Bruno II. Not content with a first defeat, Bruno did everything possible to secure a rematch against Tyson. He was sure that the then champion had retained his titles during that first encounter only by luck. So, on March 3rd, '96, in the ring at MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada, destiny granted his wish. Bruno had just won the WBC World Heavyweight title, and his first challenger was none other than Mike Tyson. Despite being the challenger, Tyson entered the fight as a 5-1 favorite. Perhaps this should have been taken as an omen of what awaited Bruno once the fight began. Being his third fight after getting out of prison, Tyson defeated Bruno by technical knockout 50 seconds into the 3rd round.
But it was a nice effort.
And anytime... Oh, here comes Tyson. Tyson with a Tyson of what McNeely and Mathis. Here's a combination uppercut by Tyson. Tyson laying it on, pouring it on. Down goes...
Bruno was confident that Tyson's time behind bars would work against him, and he could defeat him. However, by snatching the title from him, Mike only proved that he was back and just as dangerous. Mike Tyson versus Peter McNeely. Are you curious about who Tyson faced right after getting out of prison? His victim was none other than the unfortunate Peter McNeely. It would be his first fight in 4 years due to his prison sentence, and McNeely was the first to underestimate the great return of the youngest heavyweight champion in history. In terms of business, it was a highly anticipated matchup. Perhaps McNeely's promises to knock out Tyson in the first round fueled the interest of the general public. But contrary to that, the night of August 19, '95 is not a fond memory for the loudmouth. McNeely went down twice in less than a minute and a half of the fight.
Advertise comes right at Mike Tyson.
It was then that Vinny Vecchione, who was his manager, decided to jump into the ring to force Mills Lane, the referee, to stop the fight.
That nonsense, because they were starting to butt heads. Oh.
Tyson with a left hook, a right uppercut, down goes McNeely.
Like a coward, it was clear that McNeely had underestimated the skills of a knockout machine that was still well-oiled. Mike Tyson versus Andrew Golota. And when it comes to cowards, we have to make room for Andrew Golota. He voluntarily decided not to continue after fighting only 2 rounds against the Great Iron Mike. These incredible events date back to the night of October 20th, 2000. So if you thought it happened when Tyson was at his peak, no. The coward fled when Iron Mike's career was coming to an end. Precisely because of this, Golota boasted of his ability to counter Mike's attacks. He was sure he would be worn out and wouldn't be as forceful as in the past. But what he experienced in the ring at the Palace in Auburn Hills, Michigan, was completely the opposite. From the start, Tyson came out swinging. Not only did he dominate the pace of the fight, he also severely punished Golota at every little opportunity he had. Therefore, after the second round, Golota got up from his stool and began to walk around his corner, refusing to fight another round. It was unheard of. His team tried to convince him to continue.
Senza portare colpi, è chiaro che si espone e c'è una ferita all'arcata sopraccigliare sinistra di Golota.
Speriamo che non sia niente.
Destro!
Gancio destro,
Il
gancio
destro
destro.
bettata,
adesso
già il Tyson è chiaro, sente il sangue.
And Frank Garza, the referee, was patient with him, calling him more than once. However, there was no choice but to accept that the one who promised to stop Tyson could only stop himself because of his cowardice. As he was led back to his locker room, Golota was showered with trash and drinks from an audience that detested his decision. If you've made it this far, I thank you. Also, I remind you that there's no better way to support my content than by leaving your like on the video. Did you know the outcome of any of these Tyson fights? How much context did you have about his encounters with these harassers? I'll read you in the comments.